Hello everyone, this is Daisy, aka Professional High Priestess. I'm here to just drop this channeling real quick, okay? Before I go out and deal with my Sunday. But I wanted to put this message out there regarding Saturn and regarding karma. So right now, the energy that we are in is very karmic, meaning you say something to someone or you do something, immediately you may turn around, stub your toe, break, the screen on your phone, etc. Right? Karma is working very quickly these days because we have Jupiter's in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn. We're also going to be having a lunar eclipse in Capricorn. We're also going to be having Pluto conjunct Saturn, both being in Capricorn. Pluto's a planet of destruction and chaos and death and transformation, and Saturn's a planet of karma. Those two planets have not conjuncted since 1500s. The last time we had this transit, we had the Protestant Reformation. So this is going to be very major energy, okay? On top of that, we have Saturn, the planet of karma, going into Aquarius, which is also ruled by Saturn, right? It's its old co-ruler. And Aquarius is all about the crown chakra, the intellect, the mind, right? So there's going to be a lot of karma coming up around, because Capricorn's the earth father. It's all about Capricorn's all about patriarchy, religion, tradition. It's also about government institutions, traditional infrastructure like banking, etc. Right? So what we're going to be seeing on a macro level with systems is we're going to be seeing a lot of systems collapse. We're going to be seeing a lot of traditional institutions and businesses collapse. We're going to be seeing a lot of individuals exposed. Don't be surprised if you hear a lot more scandals coming out around the church and Catholic Church, right? Don't be surprised if you hear about a lot of scandals coming out in the government as well, okay? Also, because Saturn is also moving into Aquarius, that is, remember I talked about the intellect, crown chakra, crimes against humanity, the misuse of the intellect that impacted people on a massive scale. I want to give an example. The president of Brazil, who will not be here with us for very much longer, he is an Aquarius moon. And you see the ways in which his sociopathic behavior created a lot of the trauma that we now see happening with the indigenous people in the Amazon, the black people living in the favelas, etc. Right? I just wanted to use that as an example so you can see the ways in which the lower vibrational aspect of Aquarius energy may manifest itself. Okay? And the lower vibrational aspects of Capricorn energy. You don't have to have those signs in your chart for you to be impacted. But I wanted to put this message out there specifically for those of you who don't know what time it is, or who claim to know what time it is, but still engage in lower vibrational 3D world behavior. So these are the things that are going to be happening to individuals. So for those who have a lot of past life karma, which is what the Capricorn energy is going to be bringing up for us to be healing, all of us are going to be dealing with that in some way, shape, or form, okay? Especially if you were born between the years of 1990 to 1991, your North Node and your Lilith is in Capricorn, so pay attention, okay? But a lot of us are going to be, understanding why we're going through specific issues. We're going to start to understand the ways in which past life decisions that our ancestors and that we made in past lives is now causing chaos, strife, stagnation for us in this current lifetime. A lot of you too, with all the energy, remember I told you that there's a portal that's open, past life portal, present life portal, future portals. They've all collapsed into one. So all the shit that you've done, past lives and present that you have not cleared up, it's going to impact your future timelines, your future children, and their future generations as well. That's why it's really imperative for us to really be doing that deeper inner work, to really reflect on our own behavior, and to really think before we engage in any type of behavior that we feel like we're getting away with, or we're trying to impact other people, because the whole world is under judgment right now. Okay, the whole entire world is under judgment right now, and I'm not talking about biblical prophecies, etc. Because what is happening right now is the wheat is being separated from the chaff, right? So we've had many transits over the past 12 to 13 years that have really put us in a position where, if you've been with the wave, right, and if you've been doing the clearing work, doing the energy work, embedding a new way of consciousness and thinking within your psyche, you're going to be okay. If you're a part of that old timeline of creating stagnation, drama, karma, doing spell work on other people, you're going to be a part of the lower vibrational group who's going to be descending and is going to be experiencing abject poverty, mental illness, poor health, etc. Okay, it's not what I want it to be, it's what it is, right? Forget about all the spiritual texts, just understanding astrology on a very deep level and the way in which it impacts us. A lot of people are going to be on the decline because they felt that they could get away with harming the feminine principle, not the feminine energy, not a woman, right? But the feminine principle, right? They felt like they can and women, right? They felt like they could get away with that, etc. You're going to be dealt with severely. Now, I want to talk about let's talk about individuals who are causing harm. So, for those of you who like to, because of your mental health problems, you like to create harm, you like drama, you like trying to do spell work on other people. I really encourage you to start to make amends now, because you are going to be going through hell and hot water moving forward. I had a very horrific vision. Not all the visions I get are good. Some of the visions I get, they actually scare me, because it's like, I don't even know how to hold that. But I did have a vision of, there's a few of you who basically, there was like a huge room, and it was like a circle, but there was like, in the middle of that circle, there was like this square that had like hooks in it, okay? And I saw a lot of you individuals hanging by your foot on those hooks, and I just saw like just destruction and chaos. And I was sitting on top of this room with other people who I've never met in person, but I know are very much spiritual, and they're also part of the spiritual community, etc. And I saw all of us, and we were sitting there just looking down into, these people basically getting dealt with severely, right? And I'm not going to go too much into that vision, because it was very graphic and very gruesome, but a lot of y'all need to be very careful, because you have engaged in certain frequencies and certain behaviors, and that has opened you up to dealing with specific entities and lower vibrational worlds that you are not even equipped to deal with, right? And some of you may, delude yourself into thinking that, well, you're justified in your behavior. You're never justified in your behavior, especially if the divine did not lead you into doing those acts. And a lot of y'all, it's not the divine leading you into doing those acts. It's the demons in your mind, right? And it's the entities that you work with and that that are playing with your mind that have led you to facilitating those acts, because they feed off of the harm and chaos that ends up happening to you, because they're impartial. They don't care if you pass away or if you're harmed by doing their dirty work, because they still are going to eat anyways. Right? There are also many of you who are going to be dealing with abject poverty because of some of the things that you've chose to do. Some of you have laundered money from other people. You have swindled other people. You have forced other people into compromising situations. I'm talking about pimping, right? For you to generate income. You have destroyed communities through the trafficking of narcotics, etc. A lot of you are going to be seeing a massive decline, because that's the thing. Spirit does not care about structural oppression. Spirit knows that it exists, and they're dealing with the people who are facilitating it. But yes, we are caught up in structural oppression, and it causes us to make certain decisions. But at the end of the day, it's you that still has the karma and the responsibility for how you dealt with that, regardless of structural oppression and the ways in which it creates constraints and binds. Matter of fact, that's the reason why structural oppression, which I'll be making a video about, that's the reason why it exists. It exists in order to feed you into the matrix, to harness your energy, because when you start to play with that system, which is a form of magic in itself, of course, you know that there's going to be certain outcomes, aka you become a statistic. All right? So I just wanted to put that out there. Some of you too have tampered with the sacred element of sex and reproduction, and you have purposely brought children into this reality out of your own selfishness, and you will be dealt with as well. That's another thing I'm being told. There are also some people who have misused the sexual element, meaning that they have performed they have abused children. Or they have exposed their children to certain energies, and they have not protected their children. You will be dealt with sort of severely, because the child's energy is the most powerful form of magic on this planet after sex. That's why you see in these Catholic churches and things like that, that's why they abuse these children, because it's more of a ritual, if anything. That's why you see all these pedophile rings. It's really about the ritual and the harnessing of the innocence of the child. So understand that. You will be dealt with severely. Some of you have a lot of scorned lovers, meaning that you have used your sexual magician powers, not even knowing that you were a magician, and you have hurt, harmed, and injured many women and men across the land, either through spreading STDs or getting people attached and hooked to you without any notion or interest of reciprocating, etc. And you will be dealt with as well. So a lot of chickens are coming home to roost, y'all, right now. So this is the message that I've been told to send about Saturn. I think I'm going to make a more in-depth video about how this works for those who are not really used to who are not skilled in the language of planetary archetypes and how they manifest onto the earth plane. Okay, so Those are some messages that I had. Another one, I'm going to bring back the spell work again too, because this is the work that I do and it's very prevalent. I've also been told that there's many of y'all who are in the community in positions of power who have purposely used gossip, which is a form of spell work, manipulation, trying to cause barriers and blockages out of your own mental illness for other people, have actually went so as far as paying others to do spell work, or you engaging in spell work to try to hurt, harm, and block other people who are actually protected. You guys are going to be really dealt with severely as well. I've even been shown that many of you will be removed from the planet after you are embarrassed publicly. I did had another dream as well that there's a man and a woman who are in positions of power. They may know each other, may not know each other, but in my dream, in the channeling in the dream that I did have, because I've had this repetitive over the last couple of years, you are going to be exposed majorly for something having to do with sexual activity. I do also know that there is like there are some people in positions of power that they travel to different states or countries to enact sexual abuse and violence onto women. You are going to be handled severely. Something is about to come out. You are going to be exposed. There's also some people in positions of power, when I'm talking about the spell work situation, to try to steal other people's energy or use them for money ritual, etc., or basically try to kill them because out of jealousy and envy. You are going to be dealt with severely. I did see someone living in their car. There was one, and I did see someone getting into a very, very bad car accident because of their behavior. Okay, so another message that I did get to, there's a woman who is actively laundering money from her job. You are going to be caught and you are going to be embarrassed severely. So these are some of the messages that I'm getting for people. These are high level messages in channeling. There are some things that are very sacred that I cannot expose on my channel, but as time goes on, you're going to see them yourself anyways. Okay, so I just wanted to put that message out there for everyone. Have a great day. Bye.